Here we go again. Hello, everyone. So I'm taking a look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series retro carded Scarlett figure. I just did my Duke review, and Scarlett just got here, so very happy to get a hold of this. This figure is loaded with accessories. I can tell just by looking at it. But the box art is very nice. Starting off with here, the artwork for the Scarlett is very reminiscent of the original retro Scarlett figure, even if it is a bit more modernized. You can see her on here with all the accessories, G.I. Joe Scarlett, choking hazard, small parts. Don't put it in your mouth. On the back here, there is her card readout, which says Scarlett, O'Hara, Shanna, M. Role, counterintelligence, primary specialty, intelligence, secondary specialty, classified. Birthplace, Atlanta, Georgia. A martial arts expert who started practicing at age 9, Scarlett graduated summa cum laude from 2 Ivy League universities and went on to excel in training courses at all 4 branches of the armed forces. And you see this is all in a bunch of different languages as well. It's not as big as the original readout, which again, I mentioned it. I'm pretty sure in my Duke review that putting it in multiple languages kind of messes with the whole card readout and makes it feel less full. But what are you going to do about it? You can see the other figures in this line, the Duke, the Recondo, which I don't have the Recondo. I might get him at some point. A whole bunch of legal jargon here, a fictional name in case you thought that this was a real person. But yeah, there's not a lot to look at here. Actually, that's a lie. There's quite a lot to look at here, but let's get it open because that's what's more important. Before we get into the 4 review segment, if you'd be so kind as to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'm very close to 400 subscribers, and I would like to hit that for the end of the month, but I digress. Anyways, carrying on to the review of Miss Shanna O'Hara. Here she is right here out of the packaging, and she looks fantastic. This is a really, really good figure. This is a really good release. I have problems with it. They're not as bad as some other things, but I do have problems with them, and we will get to them soon. But just looking at her, she is great, and she is loaded to the brim with accessories, and that is partially one of my problems. But getting a closer look at her real quick, let's take off the spinny base here. As you can see, she is loaded with accessories, like I said, just so many. She's got a crossbow bolts, a pistol, a knife, 2 rifles, a backpack, her crossbow, and this hair ponytail situation was actually removable and replaceable with a different ponytail piece, which is really nice, but I'm just so many accessories on this. One thing that is really cool before I get too far into it is that the backpack here actually is sculpted to match her back very well. So it actually blends in well. It doesn't stick out as far as some of the other backpacks do in the classified figures. Also, this specific ponytail piece is designed so that way it can layer over the backpack and lay there nicely so it doesn't get in the way, which is really nice. I appreciate the fact that they went as far as to give another hairpiece that designed specifically for that. But taking all the accessories off, to look at Scarlett herself, this figure is really gorgeous. This is a really great looking Scarlett figure. It is not quite as uncanny as the Duke figure for me, because this still has some, modernizations here and there. There's a little pistol belt here. There's a zipper right here, one up here. There's the grenade. There's the boot sheath for her, the thigh sheath for her knife. Place for the crossbow bolts, the little shurikens, and the derringer there. Things that make it a little more. I don't know. I don't want to say modern, but I want to say less like it was ripped straight from the 80s. But it still does look that. So it works both. I really think it looks great. She got a belt right there and everything. The whole one-piece body jumpsuit, that works super well. And I can't wait to get my Glenda figure because this will be on the same mold. And this is a really, really good mold. This is a really good female figure mold. My only issue with it is that there is some, I don't know what's picking up, but there's some indentations in the plastic there. And in hand, it looks a little less clean. It looks a little more like you can see fingerprints or something on it. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that it doesn't look as pristine as I would like. It's not perfect, but it is pretty close, and I really like that a lot. The face sculpt here alone is really good. I like there's even some smile lines on her face there. There's little slight imperfections, see your freckles, the eyes, and everything. The photo real stuff looks great. You've got 2 little earrings on there, little circle-ons on there. This looks really good. It looks just like Scarlett. I don't have the original one, the original classified one, but the original one had more of an orange hair color scheme, which I also do like. I think that looks good as well. But this is very much classic bright red Scarlett hair. This is original Scarlett, and it looks really, really good. Like, again, I keep talking about how good this looks, and it really just does look great. They nailed it, great job on here. And even if you don't like these little accessory things, they can actually come off pretty easily, like these right here. This one might be a little harder. You might have to pop the torso piece off there, but you could still do it. I really like the inclusion of the little derringer on her wrist. I think that was on the original figure, but I can't be certain. If it is, there'll be an image here. If it's not, well, then I'm just wrong. I know for a fact these little shurikens are, though. That is really nice. It's a really cool touch. Hopefully it means we get a ninja version of Scarlett at some point down the line. They said nothing is out of the realm of possibility, so maybe a little red shoulder pad piece here. It really looks great. I mean, just fantastic. I don't know what to say. It's just a really well-designed figure here. Looking at the articulation, though, there's a ball joint on the head. There's a ball joint here around the neck as well, but definitely kind of hard to get it to do anything. But it's there, so I'm sure somebody could do something with it. There is a ball joint at the upper torso here, and one at the lower torso here, so you get the full range of motion there. I would have preferred like an ab crunch, but I get why not. It would break up the sculpt, and I'm fine with that. Butterfly joints here, which work pretty well as well. Not as good as some other ones. There is a full 360 rotation at the shoulder, as well as at the upper bicep here. Double jointed pinless elbows here. A little hard to get her on to do that because her arm's a little shorter there. But there is an up and down swivel on these hands because she has two sets of hands. She has a closed punching hand and then the trigger finger hands. But there is also the drop down hips, of course, because it's a classified figure. They always have those. There's a swivel at the upper thigh, double jointed, pinless knees here as well. A little tight, but that's fine. There's a swivel here at the calf, up and down for the foot, which is a little hard. And I'm afraid to do it because sometimes it gets stuck and I really do not want to break it. But you can see it on this one's a little better. But yeah, there's of course the four-face spin for rocker. So there's a lot of articulation here on this figure. How does that saying go? Too much of a good thing will give you too many accessories to dump in your fodder box and never use again. I think that's how that goes. This Scarlett comes with a lot of accessories. A lot. Like to the point where I'm like, did you guys just have all these and you needed to get rid of them kind of accessories? Look, I will never complain about extra accessories, and for the price point, we should be getting these many accessories. My main complaint for this is that I'm never going to use all of these, because for me, Scarlett has the crossbow, and that's it. I've taken a picture of her with the M16 knockoff, but that's about it. I mean, I could give it to some of my other Joes, which is probably what I will do, but there's a lot here that I feel a little overwhelmed, especially with the crossbow, which we will look at here first because that's my biggest issue. So looking at the crossbow, it comes in two separate pieces, first of all, and these two separate pieces don't hold together like at all or super well at all, and also it's really warpy, bendy plastic, which is not great. I would prefer this to be just one mold, which honestly, when I put it together, when I keep it for myself, I will probably glue this together just to keep it together. And she also comes with, on top of that, 4 crossbow bolts, which can all fit into her pouch, which is nice. I appreciate that there's space for to put it on her person, which is nice. And all of them are different molds, which is really cool. But my main question is, why did you go to the extent of molding each individual crossbow bolt? I mean, look, never look a gift horse in the mouth, but like, I'm just curious why they went so far as to do this. I mean, thinking about it for a minute, you'd never see something like this in the Marvel Legends line. And I know why, because, you know, Hasbro proprietary Disney bull crap, but like this is the G.I. Joe line, so they can spend as much on here as they want reasonably. But I'm just wondering answer me in the comments. How many of you who are going to get this or have already got it are going to use all of those individual crossbow bolts for photography, for posing, for whatever? And how many of you are just going to keep them in her pouch the whole time? I'm just wondering. Look, I'm not complaining. I know it sounds like I'm complaining, but I'm just baffled as to why they went so far with this. Again, not going to complain, really appreciate it, but just wondering why they went to this extent. Here's her pocket knife, her large knife, which looks very nice. It is a very thick knife, though. That is a dull knife. You're not cutting anything with that. Nice, though. A nice color scheme. Here's her pistol, which is, my guess is some sort of 1911 situation here, like a Colt, or, I mean, it looks like it, but then again, it's never 100% perfect, so you don't know. Here are the alternate hands. She comes with the 2 punching hands, which, by the way, I didn't notice this until just now, but on both of these hands, both on the punching hands and on the trigger finger hands, they actually sculpted on here knuckle coverings for her gloves, which is really nice. That's a nice touch. I appreciate that. Here is her alternate hairstyle, which... Here comes another complaint. The hair pieces, I really like them. I think they're really cool. I really like the fact that they have 2 different hairstyles there. That feels something that would be really necessary, and it's actually sculpted very well. My issue with it, though, is that if I grab the Scarlett real quick, and I attempt to put this ponytail piece into her head, it really struggles to go in there, because either her head is a softer plastic, or this is a softer plastic. But it's one thing here, it just makes it really hard to get it locked in there and to get it to stay in there, and it feels like it's going to slide out. And I know why they would do that as opposed to hard plastic, because hard plastic can break, soft plastic can warp, and it can bend and everything, but it is a real pain to get it in there sometime. That is my major complaint with that, is that it's just a little hard to get in there sometimes. But even then, that's only it's like a minor complaint. That's just like a small thing that I'm worried about. But looking at her rifle here, this is some sort of knockoff M16, and I won't lie, it's really close. It's really good looking. This looks basically like the best of all the guns that are meant to look like real guns that I've seen so far. Stock's a little weird. The sight's a little odd. But my main issue is that it's still that gummy, warpy plastic. God, guys, come on. At least the barrel here is real rigid, but it's that gummy, warpy plastic. So you get her into a pose, and it's like, and it sucks. I know that they're working on ways to improve that, but it still sucks to see it. I hate it because it ruins the rifle. But you can also take the magazine out, as you always can, and slide it back into here, which is nice. Appreciate that. And here is her classic G.I. Joe laser rifle. Okay, another minor complaint here. This is real complaining. It was real nitpicky, but she's really good. And it's a really good figure, and everything's great about it. But there's these tiny little things that that don't ruin it. But it's like, oh, why'd you do that? You messed it up. For me, it's this. This is the classic G.I. Joe laser rifle. I think it looks great. I love this. This is probably how I'll keep a lot of my Joes, because I love the cartoon, the Sunbow laser rifle situation. My main issue comes with the fact that the Duke one is a different color. They're different colors. And if you look at the one that Grunt comes with, who I don't have yet, but Grunt also comes with one of these, that's also a different color. Why? Why are you doing that? There's something in my brain that's like, I want them all to be uniform. I want them all to have the exact same color situation. I don't even like that rifle is a weird kind of tan green-ish. I don't like that. Even though a pistol, I would prefer it if they were black, so I could, at least like paint over them or something unique. But like, it's nitpicky. But again, it's slightly off. It's not far enough off to be like, oh, that's egregious. Why would they do that? It's just off enough to be like, oh, that's so close, but so far. So why did you do that? For what reason? I wish I could ask them the reasons why. But here is her backpack, which is a really nice backpack. I don't know if I'll be using it with her because, Scarlett in my mind doesn't really use a backpack. It's just kind of a crossbow situation. But it's really nice, and I like the fact that there are 2 pegs that are designed perfectly to hold both of the rifles. That's a really nice touch. I don't know if I'm going to use it with her or somebody else, but it's a nice backpack. It's sculpted really nicely. Looks like a proper military backpack, and that's really good. So I really appreciate that. And, of course, with all of these retro card figures, they come with a stand, which I wish that the regular ones would always come with, but hey, you know what we can do. It's a really nice one, too. Of course, the G.I. Joe logo on here. There's space here for them to print a name on, but they just haven't. They did that with the Crimson Strike 3-pack. I wish they did that with all of them, but, it's fine. If it's blank, you can kind of use it for anybody, so you don't need to use it for Scarlett or Duke or whatever. So, yeah, those are the accessories. That got real nitpicky, but that was just my honest opinions. Those are just my thoughts, so I hope you appreciate that. Now, for size comparison, here she is next to her often romantic interest, Snake Eyes, who, for once, is not the shortest guy in the room. She's actually quite a bit taller, or he's actually quite a bit taller than Scarlett. Usually he's the short one, which is funny. But yeah, they look really nice together. I don't have the retro card one. I would love to get that one because I love the Commando Snakehead look. Don't have him yet, but they look really nice together. Here she is next to my most recent review and the retro carded Duke figure, who she comes in this line with. They look really nice together, scale really well together. This is a very much a classic Sunbow look, and I really appreciate that. They look really good together. Here she is next to some common Sunbow antagonists of the Tomaz and Zaymot, the Crimson Twins, and they look really good together. This is really like capturing the cartoon look super well. It's kind of weird how well it looks. But yeah, they look great together. And because why not, I have it. Here she is next to the other members of the original 13 Joes who I have. Clutch, Stalker, and Rock and Roll all in the vamp together. And this vamp is huge. It is enormous. This thing is giant. She is so small. Look at that. That's her head right there. She's so tiny next to this. So there is Scarlett, and she is really, really good. Despite all my nitpicky things that I said during this review, you really should get one. If you can get one, please do. She is fantastic, and I wish I had the original one to compare, but I don't. But she is great. This really is one of the best figures that they made in this line. The accessories and everything were weird nitpicks that I personally had, but the figure itself, which is the main reason you should buy this, the figure itself is fantastic. And again, like I said, I can't wait to get a hold of my variant of that, which is Glenda with the Dragonfly when that gets here. But she is great, and I would like to thank each and every one of you who subscribed from my most recent Duke review, because I know that one actually did pretty well compared to a lot of my other reviews. So I hope you stuck around after watching that. I know I got a lot of subscribers off of that one, and I hope I get more off this one. So if you liked it, please do comment, subscribe, like everything. I really appreciate it, all of it. To respond to every comment that I can. But yeah, thank you so very much. I hope you had a great time. Go ahead and get this, and I will see you next time. Yo, Joe.